Because of the simple fact that Spicebomb Extreme exists, you probably forgot that Spicebomb EDT is still an amazing fragrance. Now, does this hold up, even though it's 2024 and there are other flankers? Well, today I'm going to give this a full review and let you know if this is still good, and if you should even consider this fragrance at all. Viktor Rolf's Spicebomb Eau de Toilette was released in 2012. It was perfumed by Olivier Polge, and it was made in France. The fragrance comes in this box right here. Just says Spicebomb by Viktor Rolf. On the top, you get their little seal here. And then on the back is some precautions, some ingredients. On the bottom of the box, you get the batch code and something. I don't know what that is. But anyways, let's look at the bottle. I don't care what anyone says. I love the presentation of these bottles. I think it looks so cool, so masculine. Spicebomb Eau de Toilette, and then you get this grenade style pin. I think that it looks so cool. It just says Spicebomb by Viktor Rolf, and then when you flip to the bottom, that is where you get your batch code. So my batch code, 22W62DP. Their atomizers are very good, actually. Such an amazing scent profile. I'm just gonna fan that out of my face real quick. I'm gonna detail how it smells, but just give me a second. I sprayed that right in my face. First, before I detail what I smell, let's go over the listed notes on Fragrantica. The top notes are pink pepper, elemi, bergamot, and grapefruit. In the middle notes, cinnamon, saffron, and paprika. And the base notes of tobacco, leather, and vetiver. So what do I get? First, I know that there's a lot of people that are very, very familiar with the smell of this one. The more popular younger brother. This one is very warm, dark, spicy, and sweet. But the tobacco is quite different that you get on that one versus here. Now, Spicebomb Eau de Toilette, you can picture this as a fresher, soapier, better fragrance for all year round. What do I mean by fresher? Okay, so when you first spray this on, I get a big blast of that citrus off the top. Now, I thought that there was a lavender in here that gives it this kind of floral cleanliness. I realized that it was just a different type of that tobacco, basically almost like the floral side of tobacco, which gives it this cleanliness instead of the earthy kind of smokiness that you get out of Spicebomb Extreme. You're also getting in this fragrance a lot of cinnamon and that pink pepper. In my opinion, this fragrance is best suited for the fall time. Arguably one of the best fall fragrances ever made. I love wearing this one in the fall. I love wearing Spicebomb Extreme in the winter. If you wanted to wear Spicebomb Eau de Toilette as a signature scent in the office, I wouldn't say not to. Like, I actually have worn this in one of the highest heat days in the summertime, and I didn't think anything of it. I know some people are probably thinking of that like, seriously? The freshness to this fragrance, I think, is understated. That almost gives it this soapy, clean edge, and especially after the dry down, some of that cleanliness is still lingering around, which I think makes it incredibly versatile. Now, I do think that this fragrance does have a little bit of maturity to it. I think of spicy or woodier or earthier fragrances as the more mature crowds. The modern trend is sweetness. Now, there is some sweetness in here. I do think that if you were, let's say, mid-20s and up, you're probably gonna prefer a fragrance like this a little bit more than, let's say, a high schooler. I think that the perfumery to this fragrance is honestly, I would say, even better than Spicebomb Extreme, because Spicebomb Extreme in itself has a lot of sweetness behind it. If you were looking for a version of this fragrance that was the smoothest, I would say this one, because the spice and the sweetness and the cleanliness all combine together to give it this very, very well blended scent profile that I think a lot of people are going to overlook because of the Spicebomb Extreme. That fragrance is still good. I'm going to stop mentioning it now. We're just going to talk about this one. I overlooked this fragrance for so long, and I'm not sure why. Before I really hype this one up, I want to go over the performance of Spicebomb Eau de Toilette. This is Eau de Toilette concentration. With that being said, I still get amazing performance out of this fragrance. Total longevity, I would say, sits in the 6 to 8 hour range. It does have a little bit of progression in the scent profile, which I will detail, but first I want to talk to you about the projection. Now, when you first spray this on, it does start off rather strong. I would recommend that if you were to spray this on, to at least give it a bit of time before walking into a room, because I'm going to say it's 3+ feet. More than an arm's reach for at least the first hour. Now, after that first hour, this fragrance progresses in a very odd manner because you do get that citrus off the top, that cleanliness from the floral type of tobacco, leather that sits underneath really show their heads in the first hour. So after the first hour of that 3+ foot projection, we're progressing into the second phase of this fragrance. The first thing that wears off, which is odd, is the actual spice, to the point that it's like, now we're getting even more cleanliness of this fragrance. In my opinion, you're getting getting on this second hour, more of the leather, which definitely comes out, that lasts a fair bit of time, but the projection in this stage is a little bit less. In this stage, I'm getting around 2 foot of a bubble. Now that lasts around like to the 4-hour mark. Even less spice after that 4-hour mark, and it's mostly leather, the floral side of that tobacco, and a little bit of that citrus. That is gonna last until the 6 to 8 hour mark before it kind of dies out. And yes, at that point, you can still like faintly smell it on your skin or on your clothes. If you spray it on your clothes, it's gonna last all day. Either way, I think that's incredible out of an eau de toilette. With all that being said, this has an edge to it that a lot of fragrances don't have. It's a little bit rugged in the way that it presents itself, but this is rugged and charismatic. It's a very boss-like, man-in-charge style of fragrance. I think that Spicebomb Eau de Toilette is every little bit deserving of a 9.5 out of 10, almost borderline a perfect men's fragrance. Definitely don't skip on this one because of its more popular younger brother. Definitely check out my review for Spicebomb Extreme. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you over there. Oh, well then, you might as well subscribe. I'm waiting. Okay, thanks.